I'm good. How about you?
Not too bad. Yeah, same old, same old. Nothing's changed much since the last hour.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, oh, here's Natalia.
Yeah.
Good evening, Alan.
Good evening. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
How was your day?
Um, I have get prepared to my vacation.
Are you ready?
No, of course.
Hmm. You only have another day to prepare, right?
Uh, I have 2 days to prepare.
Oh.
Uh, One time I have just packaged my suitcase, but then I have read about traditional in clothes in India,
Mhm.
and I have exchanged all my clothes.
Oh, so you had to change it all over again. But
In
you,
internet said that every women, even European, should close not shoulder but arms and legs.
mhm. So you should be dressed modestly, in a modest way.
Yes, and I found these clothes in my flat.
Oh, so you didn't have to go shopping and do much shopping then.
No.
Okay, that's good. But you could probably do some shopping there when you get there and wear some of the clothes when you get there, unless the wedding is happening the
I
same day.
hope. Yes, I hope. I I bought a lot of clothes.
Yes, because I think you'll have some time, right, before the actual wedding starts. Maybe you can go for a day of shopping and buy what clothes you like, and maybe you can wear them.
And jewelry. Yes,
Mhm.
jewelry. Ah, it's it will pleasant time for every woman.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Um, okay. And Ivan,
Mhm.
what are your plans for tomorrow,
For tomorrow,
last day of the week?
mm, maybe I should plan something, but I have not.
So you're taking it as it comes, yeah, one day at a time.
Mhm. Usually.
That's cool.
Hmm?
That's cool.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool because no, you don't have to worry much about it.
Mm,
And yeah, and what about the weekend? Any plans for the weekend?
we can maybe to spend time with family, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, gotta spend some time with family.
We have
Yeah,
really uncommon cold weather now.
so you're gonna be indoors most of the time, I
I think
presume.
so.
Yes. Here it's becoming wet as well, so we can't really do any activities outdoors ourselves. And the English, autumn and winter are very wet, so
Mhm.
there's not much we can do here. You go from one house to the other house, in from a car to car, and so on, into the car, out of the car. They don't spend time in the fresh air, really. Yeah,
And you do have a lot of fogs, don't you?
fog in the air.
Fog, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of fog, especially in the mornings and at night time. In the mornings mostly, but during the day it's not very common. Sometimes if it's really cold, then you might see some fog. Yeah, but so far we haven't had any fog. Yes.
Today I watched some video with British. It was English teaching video, and there were British speakers
Mhm.
from Britain, and I have to say they speak really good in English. I mean, much better than American, for example.
Mm.
It is so clear and smooth. It's really easy to understand.
Yes, this is why I always thought that for English learners, the most understandable, I think, accent, from my perspective as well, I think it's the British one. American, it depends on the individual. You know, maybe somebody who has been learning English for a while, they were only exposed to the American accent. Then it sounds more natural to them, sounds better to their ears. Some who haven't been exposed to one accent necessarily more than the other, I think the British one would be a lot clearer. So you can see that as well, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Natalia, what do you think? What's your opinion? Which one is more clearer to you?
Yes, I agree with you. You teach British English in English Journey, but Andy is American, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And when I visit her class, it was more difficult when I visit your class in FEST. But today I visit my second class in her lesson, and I start to understand her.
Yeah.
But it's more difficult. Maybe I understand you for 18%.
80.
Yes, 80 or maybe more. But Andy, I understand maybe 50, 60.
Wow.
But she's not native speaker.
Who, Andy?
Yes.
No.
Oh, isn't she?
American.
No, she's from Guatemala, so her native language is Spanish.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, but she's got a very good American accent,
yeah,
nevertheless.
She started to study it when she was like I guess 5 or 4 years old, so it's almost the same. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh, we can listen that it's her nature language. If she started at 5 or 6, yes?
No, yes, it's almost like native.
But of course, I understand Svetozar most of all.
What accent does he have?
Nothing.
No, Russian accent.
Oh, and you understand him the most?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he has no Russian accent at all, I think.
Oh, really?
He speaks really good.
Yes, and he speaks very quickly. I think it's good. But I understand him.
It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, so you can understand him even though he speaks quickly. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, like I said, you know, certain teachers they have a certain style or a certain accent that maybe appeals more to the student than other teachers' accents, you know. It depends. Yeah, as long as we are progressing, yeah, as long as you're progressing in your English learning, that's what counts. That's what matters the most. looks like we might have a quiet evening. It's just the three of us. So let's get started. We have a new discussion starter for tonight, and it's about hosting the world. Okay, so here you're gonna read about and discuss the reasons why hosting a mega sporting event is not as glamorous as it seems. So as always, we will have vocabulary, comprehension questions, and discussion questions as well. So I'm gonna play the audio. There is an actual audio to this, and then we will get into the vocab and the rest. Okay, so let's begin. Let's, yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by ESLlibrary.com. Hello everyone, I'm Tara Benlow, the host of ESL Library's mini podcasts for English learners. Today's podcast comes to you from our Discussion Starters section. Hosting the world, living up to the golden standard. Winning a bid to host a mega sporting event should be a dream come true for any nation. In recent years, however, many candidates have been pulling out of the bidding races. Perhaps they've heard that hosting the world isn't all it's cracked up to be. Nations that bid to host the World Cup or the Olympic Games often make promises they can't keep. Overpromising is the key to winning any election, after all. To host the world, nations must prove they are willing to break the bank. Athens spared no expense at the 2004 Games. It also went 60% over budget. Candidates usually underestimate the costs of hosting the world. Building new venues, improving transportation routes, and hiring security are just a few of the financial burdens. When the world goes home, jobs are lost and expensive stadiums sit empty. The new facilities rarely meet the nation's long-term needs. What will Brazil do with the massive arena in a remote part of the Amazon? Having a post-games plan is mandatory for any host nation. Barcelona had a city plan in place before the 1992 Games. Their long-term goals served local residents and attracted tourists. Vancouver took a similar approach in 2010. Each venue was designed with the city's future in mind. Other past hosts failed to follow through with their plans. Empty promises led to anger and frustration. In Beijing, people protested the return of the polluted skies. In Greece, the Olympics was blamed for the debt crisis. Were you surprised when displaced Brazilians told FIFA to go home? While host nations regularly report losses rather than profits, organizations like FIFA and the IOC earn billions of dollars in revenue. What can these non-profit organizations do to support host nations? If they lower their golden standard, can we put the focus back on the game? For questions and activities and a full transcript of today's podcast, visit ESLlibrary.com and choose our Discussion Starters section. That's all for today.
Okay. That was it. Now, was that loud and clear?
No.
No?
It was very difficult for me.
Okay, but the audio was loud. Just the language was difficult.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go through some of these then. Hopefully we'll understand. It's supposed to be a little bit more advanced, so hopefully we can conquer these vocabulary words. But you understood what the main topic was about, yeah? Ivan, could you tell me a bit about it?
It was about impact of hosting some sport events for the country and the city.
Yes, good.
It said that it could be bad and good. It depends.
Very good. Yeah, and he mentioned about some previous examples.
And examples, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here is the PDF, and let's see what they say. So Simon Cooper, a sports journalist, says, the things you need for a soccer tournament are almost never the things you need for your daily life. Interesting. Okay. Let's look at these questions before we move on.
Oh,
Natalia, what's wrong?
I think it's a lesson about for men, not for women.
You're not interested in it. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be.
I understand one word, FIFA.
Yeah. Yeah, FIFA. The football body. The football organization. The global one, yeah. But it's not actually about that. It's more about, you know...
Politics.
Yeah, a bit of politics, yeah, because, you know, many people, I don't know if you remember when the Brazilian World Cup was on now, not long ago, the people were unhappy. They didn't want the World Cup to be held in Brazil. Yeah, so the locals were unhappy because all these organizations, they're making so much money, and the people got so many problems. The education system is not good. They have healthcare problems. The government is corrupt, but they are hosting a World Cup, so they weren't happy about that. So this is why we're gonna, you know, discuss some of these things here. Okay, so here it says in the first question, do host nations usually make a profit after a mega sporting event?
No, they don't.
Okay, do you want to explain yourself a bit?
Because usually it is hard to use sports infrastructure in forward needs, and it's hard to use it properly. Because as Simon Cooper said, the things you need for a soccer tournament are almost never the things you need for your daily life.
Exactly.
So it's usually stay abandoned and not used.
So similar thing, would you say the same thing about the Winter Olympics in Russia that were held in Sochi?
I have not heard anything about what has happened after the Olympics, but I think it's kind of the same. I'm not sure that they use it anymore.
Definitely not as much as they did during the Winter Olympics, so they might use it a bit more again in the next winter.
Maybe.
Yeah, but not all of it, and not to that magnitude, for sure.
But by the way, I have watched a video about Sarajevo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in one show, and it was example of abandoned place after Olympic Games.
Oh, yes, well, because it happened in 84.
84 or
Yeah.
80?
In 1984 were the Winter Olympics held, yeah, in Sarajevo.
And they showed some structure, a place where the skiers jump. I don't know this word, and it was totally with plants. It's totally abandoned. It's
yes.
not anymore.
But when was this video shot? When, you know, the later one, when it's abandoned?
When? It is this year.
Oh, yeah, explains it. Because I think before 1992, I think it was still being used. You know, in 1992, the aggression happened and half the country fled and a lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
were killed.
it makes sense.
So after that, obviously, it was abandoned. But before that, I think between 84 and 92, I think it was still used. So this is the period that counted, I think, the most. Any country that goes through war or some sort of aggression, you know, of course, all of these things.
Happens.
I actually was at that area. Now, because they used to have 6 hotels in the mountains there where the skiing events were taking place. And after the aggression, only one hotel remained, which was also damaged, but they renovated that one. And I stayed in that hotel. And people still go there and do skiing nowadays. So imagine how it was before 1992, when there were six hotels and whatnot. So it would have been a lot more lively. But good point mentioned. Yeah. There definitely are, you know, places in the world where after the mega event, you know, it's kind of quiet or too quiet maybe. So not much money is being made. Welcome, Rinat.
Hello.
We're discussing hosting the world, like mega sporting events and so on. And Natalia doesn't seem to be very interested because she thinks it's a men's discussion. But hopefully we can convince her that it's not very sexist, and we can all have fun and enjoy it. All right, let's look at this.
Very relevant topic in Kazakhstan. There are like discussions. Now our country already has been chosen by International Commission that Expo 2017 is going to be in Astana, and the many government already started to spend to build like different kind of buildings for holding this exposition, Expo 2017. Yeah, and you know, our society's opinion divided into 2 sides. That some of them think that we don't need to hold this very important event, but the others, including myself, think that it is not just having benefit from making this expo, or let's say even this Olympiad Games. It's not about this. You just need to maybe popularize your country, your capital, your people throughout the world. And I think that all this money that our government will spend will paid off itself after maybe 5 or 6 years. So even though some of the buildings we can build can be for temporarily use, but I am pretty sure if the managers of the organizers or organization managers, if they could have this good approach for every trifle thing, then after finishing these events, these buildings can be used for another very useful things. And now I already know that many buildings that we are going to build in Astana for this event, after finishing event, they can become, you know, like a buildings for schools, for universities. Maybe some of them that they can turn to the like home. So it has to be more flexible, I think.
Yeah, some good, valid points mentioned. You've pretty much answered the third question. That's good. Yeah, so Natalia, tell us, has there ever been a big event held in Belarus?
In Belarus. now we have.
Or is there something maybe that's being that might be held in the near future? Like Rinat was just saying.
As I know, nowadays, что у нас футбол с БТ играет? Our Belarusian group take place in something.
In Champions League, but
What? Yes, something champion, but Champion League.
Oh, which team? What's it called?
I don't know. I don't interested in football.
Ivan, I think you know.
yeah, but
Oh, right, yes.
but it
Okay.
was bad result.
Yes, it was very bad result when I know that, but
What are you talking about? Sorry, can you repeat? What is it holding in Belarus now?
but
No, it's just a football game. It's not a big event. It's just an
Ah.
average game.
Yeah, it's one of the clubs, one of the football clubs from Belarus that's in a European Champions League.
Bate it names.
Bate.
Group,
Mhm.
yes, league. Борис один играет. They
And
they play.
I just forgot which year exactly. 2020 something. Our Astana, our capital, and is voting to be the owner of Olympiad Games 2024, or I don't know. There are left only two cities. It is Beijing or Peking, how to say in English.
Beijing.
Beijing and our capital Astana.
Really?
So yeah, so it can be Beijing or Astana.
Beijing already had Olympics, I believe.
Yeah, then
Yeah, so I think Astana has a very good chance.
Astana can held it.
Would you
Yeah.
support? Would you vote?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I
So you
would.
would be for that.
Even though, there are, again, government is going to spend a lot of money, and I exactly know that from these tickets, it's not going to be paid off. But from the popularizing your country, I think it's worth to do it. And the second, my reason that, our country is very rich with oil. And in my opinion, it's better to spend this money for making like this, for organizing like this events, rather than just some of corruptions, just easily steal them and go abroad. So, yeah. Yeah. It's anyway better just, no.
Okay, good point, yes. Yeah, so Ivan, would you vote if there was a choice? I mean, did you vote or were you supporting the Winter Olympics that were held there in Sochi?
No, I didn't.
So you wouldn't really support it because you know that in the future it's gonna go to waste, like this picture here says, yeah?
It's not the main reason. The main reason is corruption, and also in Sochi it was ecological problems connected to this.
Oh yes, the environment. Yeah.
Environment problems.
Good point. So many things can go wrong. Yeah.
You know what? It's said that the most expensive Olympic Games before Sochi it was Torino.
Really?
Yeah, and they spent 3.4 billion of dollars, I guess.
Wow.
Million. And in Sochi, official figures was 40 millions. So it's like 10 times more.
Oh my God.
So it's obviously that a lot of money was just stolen.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, corruption. And people don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's being held as a secret, hidden.
It's bad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No wonder. This is why a lot of the people they know, they suspect that there is corruption there, and the money can easily go to the people that need it, rather than these corrupt businessmen. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's move it on. Now we have some vocabulary here that was a little bit advanced, I guess. So let's have a look and tell me, what do you think the meanings are? Then we'll go through them. So number one, Ivan.
Not all it's cracked up to be. It can be everything.
Any idea? What do you think is the closest meaning?
Cracked up. Absolutely no idea.
No idea. Does anyone know what this means?
In my opinion, to complete something.
No.
Maybe not as good as one thought.
Ah, well done. Not as good as once thought or believed. So it's not all cracked, well, not all it's cracked up to be. So not as good as we thought, basically. That's what it means. It's not as good as we thought. Maybe it was hyped up. There was a lot of talk about it. Oh, it's the best Olympics. Oh, it's going to be great, and this and that, you know. And when the Olympics finished, it wasn't a success at all, or it wasn't as great as people were talking about it, or they believed it might be.
Mm-hmm.
So not all it's cracked up to be. Yeah. Okay, that's no, I wouldn't say it's very common, yeah, but you know, it's there. People do use it. Break the bank. Rinat.
Yeah, break the bank, I suppose it is to go into debt or to spend too much.
Very good.
Bank, it is this organization connected with money, giving debts, credits.
How would you use this in a sentence? Break the bank.
Organizing Sochi Olympiads break the bank for Russian government.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the organizers broke the bank in order to.
The organizers broke the bank in order to
host the, or in order to, you know,
organize the things. Yeah.
Yeah, organize the Olympics or the event. So they went into debt. They spent too much, way too much, just to make it, you know, proper. All right, next one, Natalia.
Spare no expense. To spend money on every detail.
Very good. To spend money on every detail.
Oh, wedding in India, spare no expense on this ceremony.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it's a very expensive wedding, yeah? So they spare no expense.
Yes.
When it comes to the Indian weddings. It's, you know, very, all the details are there, the colors, the flowers, and so on. Everything has to be detailed. So the money is spent on that. All right, good. Number 4, Ivan?
Underestimate, to guess too low or to undervalue.
Very good.
You should you shouldn't underestimate your opponent.
Very good. This is a very common word. Yeah. You've used it well in sport or in anything really, where there is anything where there is an opponent even, you know. We say, oh, don't underestimate them. You know, they might be really good. Or even don't underestimate me as an individual, as a person. Very good. Venue.
Venue, this place to watch an organized event on 25th of October in Astana is going to be international conference, and the venue is, let's say, concert hall, main concert hall.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah. Well put together. All right, Natalia, number 6.
Venue.
That's fine. The next one, burden.
Venue. It's something what is difficult to handle.
No, we're doing number 6, burden.
Oh, burden. Something what is difficult to handle.
Yes, that's right. Can you give us a sentence?
It's a heavy burden for every person to live in this time.
It's to carry a heavy burden. Living in these times where there's a lot of crime, perhaps, or can carry a heavy burden. How else can we? What other sentence can we do with this burden vocabulary? Rinat, how would you use this word?
It can be heavy baggage.
Yeah, good. So perhaps you're traveling and you're taking 3 suitcases with you. Yeah. Now, when you're going to the wedding to India, so you're saying, I'm gonna need all of my clothes, but it's a burden carrying all of this with me. So it's like difficult. It's physically it's difficult, but also it's annoying because you'd rather not take so much with you. But you're gonna need the clothes. You're gonna be there for a while, so carrying all that luggage definitely will be a burden. It's like something difficult, but also inconvenient as well. In this case, okay.
Nowadays, many families has only one son or daughter, and all of them are indulgent. That is why to be a teacher, it's like a holding burden, yeah? Should I say like that?
What's a burden?
It's a burden to the teacher to work in school.
To have more than one child.
Yeah. Good. So some parents, they don't want to have more than one child because they believe having more children can be a burden. Yeah, it's like a difficulty. It's unnecessary. They don't want to have any more kids. 1 is enough, or maybe 2. But 3, 4, too much to handle, too difficult. So it becomes a burden for them. Yeah. Okay. 7, Ivan?
Remote. Pushed out of one's usual location or home.
No.
No.
Remote is like from distance.
Yes.
Remote control, we say, yeah.
Far away.
Yeah, there are two meanings here. Yeah, so it's going to be far away, something that's distant. Yeah, from the main hub. So, and there is also the other meaning, remote control. Yeah, for the TV or anything. That's a remote. But here it's an adjective. Something that's remote. How would you use it here as the adjective?
Far away, maybe.
Yeah, that's like the synonym, yeah? Far away.
Maybe the most important economics how to say, the most valuable part of economics is concentrated in the center and are not remoted from the main city.
You use remoted. That's a verb. You might say are not remote. You can say so. They are not remote, as in the adjective here. So they're not far away. Good. Good.
They're not remote.
They're not remote. Rather, they are close. They are central. They're central. So in the city center, or you know. Or you could say, maybe if you're referring to a city, for example, Perth, where I come from, in Western Australia, people say that Perth is one of the most remote cities in the world, or one of the most isolated. Sorry?
Nowadays, city governments throughout the world wants to move bazaars or markets from the center to the remote location.
Very good. To a more remote location. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. The city councils or the city council wants to move the markets or bazaars to a more remote location. Very good. All right. Number 8. You do not.
Number 8, mandatory. It's like obligation. It's obligatory, compulsory. Am I right here?
Yes. Yeah.
Required.
Very good.
To write lesson plans in our school, it is mandatory of teachers.
Very good. Yeah, it is mandatory for all the teachers to write lesson plans. Very good. Number 9, Natalia.
Follow through, income. I followed through in a theater when I hear the third ring.
I think it's F.
Yeah, it's not C. It's gonna be F, Natalia. So to follow through.
Follow through.
Yeah, to follow through is a verb here. So to do what you set out to do, or to complete something.
Income. Yes. Income.
No. Income.
Yeah.
Income is money that you acquire. Money. Yeah, it's like a salary. Money that's coming in. That's income. But to follow through, number 9, is F. To do what you set out to do, or to complete something.
Oh.
Can someone give me an example of follow through?
Follow through these instructions.
Or follow these instructions, but when you start the process, you need to follow it through. Don't leave it halfway, for example. You need to follow it through all the way, which means to complete the process. Don't stop halfway, for example. You must follow through the whole or complete process or task. Yeah? Make sense? Okay, number 10. Ivan?
Empty promises. Plans or vows that you don't or can't keep.
Good. Plans or vows
Vows.
that you don't or can't keep.
Can't keep. If you are not sure that you can keep your words, you shouldn't give empty promises.
Yeah, excellent. You shouldn't make empty promises or, yeah, excellent, very good. Yeah, this is the worst, isn't it? When your friends and family are saying all these things, but no action. Yeah, yeah. So they're all empty promises. Okay, good. Rinat, number 11. Your microphone.
Sorry.
Okay.
Displaced. Maybe pushed out of one's usual location or home.
Yes, very good.
In 1937, there were many famous people of Kazakhstan who were displaced from their homeland to another.
Very good example. Yes. So they were displaced. I'm sure a lot of people in the former Soviet Union were displaced when that big disaster happened in Chernobyl. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and the last one?
Revenue.
Revenue. Good, revenue.
Revenue is income. The sentence, I'd like to know what's your revenues in a year.
Oh, I'd like to know what the what FIFA's revenue is. Yeah, in 1 year, or yearly revenue. So you want to know how much money they make. Yeah, what's the income? Okay, good. Okay, so we still got 5 minutes. That's enough time for us to read the paragraph, the text. We've got 6 paragraphs, so you can do 2 each. All right. Natalia, you can start from the top, please.
Winning a bid to host a mega sporting event should be a dream come true for any nation. In recent years, however, many candidates have been pulling out of the bidding races. Perhaps they've heard that hosting the event isn't all it's cracked up to be. Nations that bid to host the World Cup of the Olympic Games often make promises they can't keep. Overpromising is the key to winning any election, after all. To host the event, nations must prove they are willing to break the bank. Athens spared no expense at the 2004 Games. It also went 60% over budget.
Very good. Excellent. Well read. Thank you, Natalia. Yeah, so Athens went 60% over budget. That's quite the breaking the bank, isn't it? All right, 3. Ivan.
Candidates usually underestimate the costs of hosting the world. Building new venues, improving transportation routes, and hiring security are just a few of the financial burdens. When the world goes home, jobs are lost and expensive stadiums sit empty. The new facilities rarely meet the nation's long-term needs. What will Brazil do with a massive arena in a remote part of the Amazon?
Mhm.
Having a post-games plan is mandatory for any host nation. Barcelona had a city plan in place before the 1992 games. The long-term goals served local residents and attracted tourists. Vancouver took a similar approach in 2010. Each venue was designed with the city's future in mind.
Very good. Well read, thank you. And Rinat, the last two paragraphs.
Was a past hosts failed to follow through with their plans. Empty promises led to anger and frustration. In Beijing, people protested the return of the polluted skies. In Greece, the Olympics was blamed for the debt crisis. Were you surprised when displaced Brazilians told FIFA to go home? While host nations regularly report losses rather than profits, organizations like FIFA and the International Olympic Committee earn billions of dollars in revenue. What can these non-profit organizations do to support host nations? If they lower their golden standard, can we put the focus back on the game?
Mhm. Very good. Well read. Okay, any questions about any of this vocabulary, even though we've covered the bold?
No. Everything is clear. Everything is crystal clear.
Okay. Let's see if we can do this before I let you go. I don't know about that, but we'll try. Okay, so which word from page 1 is described in the sentence? So more than one option may be possible. So we have the sentence on the right, and what vocabulary do you think fits this sentence?
Empty promises.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
The government promised to improve the air quality, but we still wear masks.
Empty promises.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think it's empty promises, obviously, because they didn't do what they promised they would do. Yeah, very good. Empty promises. Number 2.
Mandatory.
Ticket holders must to show ID. It is a mandatory of ticket holders to show them.
Very good. Mandatory. It's mandatory because they have to show ID. It's required. Otherwise, you cannot get a ticket. All right, Natalia, number 3.
They held the most expensive opening ceremonies of all time.
This is the key word.
Venue.
No.
Break the bank.
Close. There's another one.
No. Spare no expense.
Very good. Spare no expense.
Spare no
Very detailed, lovely, the most extravagant, the most expensive opening ceremonies of all time. Very good. 4. Ivan.
Thousands of Brazilians were forced to leave the slums they called home. It's displaced.
Very good. Displaced. So the Brazilians were displaced. Very good. 5, Rinat.
Amazonia Arena is almost impossible to access by car. Impossible. Far-fetched.
No. So there are two possibilities here. Two words that can fit. So what is this? Amazonia Arena.
Sport hall.
Yeah. In general, what is that? A concert hall, a sporting arena. These are all
Venue.
yeah, venues. Good. Okay, so that's one of them. What's the other one that could fit here as well? So this venue is almost impossible to access by car. Why? Because it's
Displaced. Remote.
yeah, that's it. It's far away. Yeah, it's remote. You have to drive forever, maybe to get there, or maybe it's in Amazon somewhere. So people, there's a lot of rough roads, and the terrain isn't very nice, smooth. Yeah, so it's remote. 6, Natalia.
I hear must be a way. No. There must be a way to host an event like this without going into debt. Oh. There must be.
Without going into debt.
Economy.
Breaking bank. Without
Yeah, to break the bank.
Break the bank.
When you break the bank, that means you're going into debt. You've spent more than your budget. You know, planned. Okay, so break the bank. 7, Ivan?
The local restaurants earned a lot of money during the games. The local restaurants had big revenues during the games.
Very good. They've acquired a huge revenue.
Huge.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, 8, Rinat.
They guessed the stadium would cost 100 million, but it ended up costing 200 million. Yeah, there was some, I forgot this. That's all cracked in.
Okay. Yeah, it's maybe you can use it here, but there's a better one here that you can use. You mean not all it's cracked up to be? Yeah, that's maybe, but
Underestimated. Even.
yeah, this is the one that we're after. Underestimate.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't think it would be that expensive. Yeah, they thought 100 million is enough, but then it was double. So they totally underestimated the costs. Okay, 9.
After the games, the mayor couldn't stop worrying about the financial trouble his city was in.
So the financial trouble.
Not all it's cracked up to be.
No. Now the mayor, yeah, the mayor has a problem. It's a financial trouble that the city was in, yeah. So what does that?
Burden?
Yeah, excellent. So it's a burden for the mayor. It's his responsibility. Yeah. So it's a burden for him.
Mhm.
Okay. And the last one, Ivan.
Though it got great reviews, the official World Cup ball didn't work that well in the rain. Uh, the official World Cup ball is not all it's cracked up to be.
Excellent. Yeah, very good. It's not all, or wasn't all it's cracked up to be. Very good. Very good. Excellent. So that's it, guys. We've gone over time, so I'm going to give you the link for this so you can keep it and save it. Okay. And then I'm going to go and start the other class. Here's the link. Okay, guys, any questions?
No.
No.
All good. Natalia, was it clearer now? Because I know you were a bit...
Yes,
has it-
I hear something new for me.
That's good. I mean,
And even in your subject about your theme about football, I found a word which I use in my vacation.
really?
Yeah.
Which one?
The burden.
Burden. Yes. You see? Good. Ah, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You can use that definitely. So I hope your luggage will not be a huge burden for you when you travel.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks. If you're free for the next hour, join me. If not, I shall see you next time.
Yes, bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.